Hello, and welcome to my video essay about Seth Rogen. Please enjoy. Seth Rogen is a Canadian-American actor, voice actor, comedian, writer, producer, and director. His career began by performing stand-up comedy in his teenage years. However, we aren't here to talk about his life or his main career, that being acting. We're going to talk about him as a director.
Happy! Look at this!
I mean, I don't think we could have written this movie if we didn't know these guys. It's always been an idea.
Throughout this video essay, I'll be going into detail on Seth Rogen's films, what I think of the films he has directed, and what makes a Seth Rogen film recognizable. Also, stay tuned for a fun fact at the end of this video.
It's fun telling the guys what to do, and they just do it.
The most satisfying thing is when you yell something out and they...
We'll begin by stating that Seth Rogen is only a lead director in two films, one being The Interview and the other being This Is the End. These two movies are both rated MA15+, as they include adult humor, which is one of the main factors in a Seth Rogen film. They are also comedies. Both of these films also include Seth Rogen as a lead character, and they both have an extremely bizarre plot. For instance, The Interview is a comedy based on two people who run a popular TV show when they come to realize that North Korea has taken interest in them. Upon their invited visit to North Korea, they are assigned a mission by the US government to assassinate the dictator. This Is the End is a film based on the actors playing themselves in an apocalypse-themed movie. They, the six famous actors playing the main roles, are trapped in James Franco's house together during the apocalypse and slowly run out of food and whatnot throughout the movie. These factors threaten to tear the six friends apart. Both of the films directed by Seth were also directed by his childhood friend, Evan Goldberg. Seth and Evan have been helping each other further each other's careers their entire lives.
Jonah, sit there with your fucking hands in your pocket, you sassy fuck.
Personally, I believe both of Seth's movies are great and very enjoyable films. However, some critics have claimed that The Interview is about as funny as a communist food shortage. Seth Rogen's films have been somewhat successful, but sadly The Interview had a rough release, which you'll hear more about at the end of this video. Seth's films are typically suited for a mature audience that are looking for a laugh, typically above the age of 15. The reviews for This Is the End were great, and seeing as this was his first directed movie, he was inspired to go on and create The Interview. There has been no recent news as to Seth directing another film, but I personally love these funny, bizarre movies, so I'll be keeping an eye out.
Oh, I'm just doing a video confessional thing, you know, like...
The largest characteristic that makes a Seth Rogen film recognizable is the plot. The story that you witness while watching one of Seth's films is incredibly bizarre. From assassinating a dictator of North Korea, that being extremely controversial, to surviving a really odd apocalypse during a house party with his celebrity mates. Though this is the most standout feature in a Seth Rogen film, it is not the only characteristic that makes a Seth Rogen film.
This job at Skylark Tonight, which is like kind of...
Adult humor is definitely a characteristic of a Seth Rogen film. The jokes that are featured throughout these movies are incredibly funny, along with extremely funny scenes that you can certainly enjoy with a few of your mates. This adult humor is of course not suitable for everyone, but if you yourself enjoy it, then you will love Seth's movies.
The thing that like I honestly appreciate the most, other than...
My personal favourite characteristic in a Seth Rogen film is the fact that Seth himself stars in the movies, along with a very recognisable comedy actor, James Franco, whom I think is a hilarious actor. The fact that Seth is able to direct the film and also play a main role in the film is astounding, and Seth is an incredibly funny actor, which makes his movies hilarious.
So, as a director, he provides you with like not just funny stuff, but like...
Seth's second film, The Interview, was prevented from being shown in all cinemas due to a North Korean hacking group hacking Sony and threatening terrorist attacks on all cinemas that showed the film. Due to this, very few cinemas were able to release the film, so the film didn't make much money in box office. However, the film did become Sony's highest earner for rented films online, making over $40 million. Ultimately, the North Korean hackers could not prevent the movie from being seen.
Brought her in and she was hilarious, and she's so tiny. There was something funny about that too. I'm like 2 feet taller than she is, like, but she's such like a little like power. Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna lie. Yeah.
I'm just a normal.
Who said it is like yeah, scrub it up. Now are you dating her? Very
It's in our
he's making a doc on it. It's a major part of this.
Yes.
Yeah. Send him a little tweet.
This,
Yeah.
it will.
No, okay. I don't think so.